back to another episode of Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. My name is Kelthos, and in the last episode, we had come into the Forbidden Zone Dome entrance area to confront Dr. Mobius, and we had to fight a big, giant robo-scorpion, and we died several times, and I cut a bunch of it out. But then I realized that I looked it up because I was stuck, and it said that a good way to defeat it was to go hack a terminal and it would shut it down. So that's what we did. So in this episode, we're going to go through this door and see if we can confront Dr. Mobius and see what the hell's going on. So here we go. Hello, Dr. Mobius. Hello.
Yo, hello there. You are there.
Wow, you're looking pretty bad.
Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Surrender, Mobius. I don't want to fight you.
Oh, well, that's good. Were we supposed to fight? I certainly don't feel violent, but, well, these contraptions make it hard to tell.
You aren't exactly what I was expecting. I defeated your giant robo-scorpion. You're next. Yeah.
Oh, did I leave that on? I thought I powered it down.
Were all those recordings like pre-recordings?
The power outages?
From before you went all wonky? You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it.
I'd like it back.
And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
I'm not going to. I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
I can fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I can fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon Mentats break.
How can you take your Mentats when you're a robot? Why did you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way.
You're odd.
You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were.
I guess.
If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it.
Reason?
I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important. Oh, well.
I was curious about some things.
I find things curious as well. Go on.
Can you tell me about your you don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats on the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I
Maybe I
take
should kill him, I don't know.
I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Weird. I'm curious about some things.
This is getting interesting. You are just filled with...
Yeah. Can you tell me about the Roboscorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard.
I like custard too.
Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
You're weird. Wait, sounds like you built the Roboscorpions, issued threats. What? Sounds like you built the Roboscorpions and issued threats to keep the think tank occupied. Yeah, it does.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, con-science? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do.
Sounds like you forgot your master plan. Surprised you remember your own name. Everything you've told me doesn't add up. Your plans, even your name, Mobius.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I. Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me.
Yeah, it does.
I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with... Like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
Whatever you say, dude. You reprogrammed their names as part of the recursion loop? What, to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming.
I'm liking you less and less,
they
dude.
don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
Why did you trap them?
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it.
Why do you need them here, though?
I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have committed myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
Klein, Mobius, zeros, a circle, 8s, an infinity symbol. They're all loops, I get it.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros. Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world.
Well, because he programmed
sense
it that
of
way.
time and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far.
Sounds like you just want to control everything.
The world isn't ready for that kind of too far thing taking. That's my professional
Too far
opinion,
thing
anyway. And I am told I was once quiet professional.
Minor detail, but snake devouring its own tail is oborous, not oborious.
Really? It is so unlikely to make an error in anything I do.
If you lobotomized the think tank, why terrorize them? I don't understand why you sent the threats and the Robo-Scorpion army against the think tank.
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
But there must have been other signs of a larger world. There were other visitors, though. Why am I different?
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers.
I don't know what that means.
You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
The bullet that went into my brain, Doc Mitchell tried to patch me up, but a cranial injury from the attack outside Goodsprings. The only wrinkle is the one that bullet made going into my brain pan. Which one of these do I want to do? I don't think it matters, right? Let's just do that one.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis.
Bullet head.
But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial cells into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it.
Why does that matter if they
and
leave?
once they're off the reservation...
So if I don't get my brain back in my head, I can't leave ever. So you set your threats on loop to keep them occupied. Do you know anything about the other visitors? Klein said they had the idea to get the 3 technologies after your broadcast.
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth.
I can say whatever
My
I want.
threat broadcast is designed to instill and install
I'll kill you.
fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
But the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items. They can rebuild them. Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcasts? What is the purpose of these technologies? Yeah. What is the purpose?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things.
I don't know if they were murderous thugs,
They had
but
them
yeah.
all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
That's not what I was thinking. Was there any other... Yeah, but the think tank downloaded the schematics.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Was there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
Okay, time for me to go. Goodbye.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor. I'm having the most peculiar feeling of deja vu right now. That's French for, deja vu, I believe. Have we met before?
Hang on one second. Okay, I don't really trust him, but hopefully our repair thing that we did helps him not be a freaking crazy loon. I mean, a violent crazy loon anyway. So I'm just gonna leave him go, leave him be, and I'm gonna go get my brain. Dr. Mobius' scrubs. Sure.
I do so love integers.
Whoopsie, didn't mean to do that. Where's my brain? Is this it? Brain tank. Shock.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we
Why do you sound
been?
like Stewie Griffin?
Crawling through bits of radioactive muck again?
Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoy
You
that
are a
little
dick.
moment?
Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when
They
you
come
help
from
someone.
you.
Do you know where those come from? Glands. They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your
Oh, well,
ape-like
that kinda
and
makes
primitive
sense.
endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
But you're the source of most of those glands, unless you're arguing that my thyroid is to blame.
Well, look, It's all a very complex system of biofeedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Oh, there's a timer. Admit it, you're just as glandier as I am.
Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it.
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back into my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective.
Well, you're gonna go
Here
in
I
my head
have
anyway.
peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
But what about the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek, the smell of food, love?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
It does indeed. So we're at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think what you the way you think. Yeah, I bet you didn't think of that, huh?
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So, what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Why? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really?
I know this
you
is
were
going
recently
over. I'm just trying to
deprived
get this
by
done.
fabulous advice, but really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the home Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
You're part of me. I know you... Okay, I'm going to end it here, and we'll finish this conversation in the next episode, just in case it takes longer than I'm expecting. So, yeah, in the next episode, we'll continue talking to this brain and try to get him to come back with us, and then, yeah, leave this place and go on. I want to thank you all for watching, and if you like what you see, I suggest you subscribe to my channel so you can see the new videos I post every single day. And if you really like the videos, I'd really like it if you could leave a thumbs up and a comment. That way I could have some interaction on my channel and know that people are actually watching and actually care. And if you want to know when I post my videos, exactly when I post them, the best way to do that is to turn on your notifications as well. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.